Hello, my name is Hersh, and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's alright. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy.
Here we go.
Okay, this week's topic on the HERshyt Show is something that happens quite often, either intentionally or unintentionally. And recently, there was a situation in Fort Jackson where a man tried to stop a young man from walking down the sidewalk. And when me and my sister got to talking about the topic, of course, it got me infuriated. We brought up the discussion of gatekeeping and how common it actually is. And it's not just in the role of race. It's also in the role of employment. It's also, listen, they got a disclaimer when you fill out an application or you have to take EO classes annually or every 6 months or whatever, but the disclaimer usually states about race, sex, gender, all that good stuff, right? But unfortunately, there's still some people that want to be able to control access to anybody that they deem unnecessary, and it's beyond infuriating. It is ignorance is one of the best choices of words that I can use without cussing. I'm trying to refrain from cussing a lot, but there's so many topics out there and so much research done on it, and I posted it on the Facebook page, the HERshyt Show. If anybody knew the definition of gatekeepers, and nobody responded. I don't know if it is a topic that people just want to veer from or what. I don't know. I don't get it. But gatekeeping is real. That man, that grown-ass man, tried to stop that young man that happened to be a young black man from walking down a sidewalk. I wasn't there, but just from the video itself, it clearly shows that NCO, supposed NCO, older white man, was trying to stop a young black man from walking down the sidewalk because he felt like it was his neighborhood, or he felt empowered for whatever, that the alcohol empowered him, or whatever excuse that man decides he wants to try to use. And I'm glad Big Army, disclaimer, I'm glad Big Army stepped in and handled the situation. And I love the way that the community came together. But that's here nor there for right now. Back to the topic of gatekeeping. You are in a situation every single day, consciously or subconsciously, wielding the power of access to somebody else. Whether you're in the place of being a supervisor and somebody brings you an application, but they got piercings in their nose, they got piercings all over their face, they got tattoos going up and down, you automatically assume that person ain't no good for the position that you may want them to be in. I remember at a time it was very unprofessional to have tattoos and piercings. It was a quota to be able to hire somebody of a different ethnicity because you got to meet that quota. We don't want to seem like we're being racist or sexist. Maybe we should put a woman in this spot because we got to meet the quota. We don't want to be sued. That's all gatekeeping. Because you have formed in your mind that you have the power to be able to give somebody access or deny them access to a certain position, a certain walk through. That's not your job. Equality is giving somebody the chance based off of their background, either educational, experience, whatever. As a gatekeeper in a community that might not even really have gates, it's a metaphorical statement. You cannot stop somebody from walking down the sidewalk. You cannot, man, listen. I've even heard of people running through neighborhoods and people peeking out of windows or calling the police because the individual was black or they was wearing a hoodie or they looked strung out or for whatever thing you have came up in your mind because you stereotype that individual. Now all of a sudden you're getting the police involved and they live right next door to you. That's gatekeeping mentality. If you haven't, you need to watch them. That is a prime example of gatekeeping and ignorance and racism. And I love the episode on when she slapped the piss out of her, but I'm not advertising the show, but I would advise you to watch it. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable, and it's going to also open your eyes up to quite a bit of reality of what people have went through. Especially during realtors, when the segregation was over and neighborhoods were trying to keep certain individuals out because of their race. There's stories upon stories of, what was that, the sundown towns? That was a real thing. That was a real legal thing that happened. If you wasn't white, you better get out of this town before the sun go down. And I really and firmly believe that there is still that same mentality. Might not be legal anymore because it's not, but that mentality is still there. My mama said growing up in West Virginia, it had nothing to do with race. But growing up in West Virginia, she lived on the mountains. There was 3 tiers. You had the river rats, something else, and something else. But she lived on top. And if you wasn't kin or you didn't know somebody there when the sun went down, you better not be in that area. And that was just in the 60s, 70s. Wasn't that long ago. But sadly, there's still neighborhoods that slick do it. If they don't know you, they ain't seen you from around there. Even living in the projects in Atlanta, if we didn't know you, you weren't staying in our neighborhood peacefully, so to speak. That's also considered gatekeeping. It wasn't our neighborhood, like we lived there, but who are we to tell somebody just because you're not from there, you can't come by? Who are we to tell somebody they can't go jogging in their neighborhood before the sun come up? Because they want to be a health nut. People so damn scary these days. The Ring app, man, just read some of your neighborhood incidents. Like, when did communities stop being communities and start being so skeptical of every individual that's not like them? I said it in episode 4. For a nation that was built on such division, We've came a very long way. And I'm not speaking on just race. I'm also speaking on misogyny and sexism. We've came a very long way. And sadly, we still got a journey ahead of us. But it's going to take each and every one of us to admit the realities that's going on in this world. The days of ignoring what's really going on is over. Mind your business, but mind your business. Meaning, pay attention to what's going on really in your community. If you got local officials that's doing dirt, don't just talk shit about them. Get them out of office. There's too many ways of being able to put the truth out there without having to contact the media. You go live every day. Why not tell the truth? And I'm not meaning just assuming something. I'm meaning actually tell what's really going on. Let the video speak for itself. If you see somebody getting harassed by a neighbor, by anybody, hey man, you good? Stand with that person. I'm not saying jump in, start a fight, knock out, brawl out, all that good stuff. No, there's legal and common sense ways and logical ways to be able to handle situations. Get more involved. Check your community. Stop being a gatekeeper if that's you. Check your reflection. Is it you? Do you feel like you can control something that don't really belong to you? Area-wise, job-wise? If that person is you, you might need to make some changes. Just saying. Till next time, check out the HERshyt Show on Instagram, Facebook, and every other platform. Comment. Get involved. Let's talk. Check out later.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheHERshytShow. Brought to you by 8 Robinsons TV and Yellow Tub Creative.